After the release of iPadOS 16 and a couple of seemingly big exclusive features for the iPad Pro, I decided to take another look at my M1 model, which, I have been always recommending, always telling you how great of a device it is, how much you should pick it up. And recently, yesterday, before making this video, I decided to run a community post on my channel. Thank you very much, by the way, for participating in this. And I was shocked because pretty much everybody so far said, nope, it's not worth to get the M1 iPad Pro as of now. And I'm not gonna lie, it kind of influenced the way I'm making this video today. And to be honest, I agree with you. I agree with you in most cases, but there are still a couple of ones in which I would debate. And I think this is a pretty interesting video I have to make because, it's not strictly about iPadOS 16, it's not strictly about the M1 iPad Pro, it's kind of the combination of both, as well as the future of iPad Pro with the upcoming 2022 model, which is right around the corner. So I think this is gonna be one heck of a fun video for me at least to make and talk about the iPad Pro because when it comes to this device, the hardware has not changed, it's still a great device. I have very few complaints about it, very powerful, very smooth, etc, etc. We all know how it goes, it's always the case with iPad Pros. Two things that I think should be improved. First is the bar life, the second is the display, at least on the 11-inch model. The contrast ratio is not that good and it definitely, should be better in the year of 2022 for a Pro device. But with that being said, the hardware is absolutely fantastic. And it's usually not about hardware in the iPad Pros. Well, right now it is because we are gonna get the newer models. But when it comes to the hardware of the current one, it's still fantastic. What has changed, however, is that software. I made a couple of videos about it, but we got mostly two exclusive features for that M1 devices, which is, the Stage Manager and external monitor support. We all know that. The software has kinda improved, it's a little bit better, a little bit more advanced, useful, efficient. Yes, absolutely. It made iPad Pro a little bit better, and it also gave us the indication that right now Apple is really pushing you toward the newer devices, which is also the information, the crucial information for anybody who wants to buy the, iPad Pro. Because assuming you wanna buy the M1 model right now, well, it's not like it's not gonna get supported anytime soon, or maybe, it won't get any features, absolutely not. But it's just, we have the indication that the newer model will have more exclusive features, probably. There's a possibility of that. And that can make one think whether the M1 iPad Pro is really worth right now. And according to you, well, it's not. And I have to agree with that in many ways because, the M2 iPad Pro, even if it's gonna be a small upgrade, with just some power, M2 upgrade, that's the only thing we're gonna get. Well, it still gives us the indication that in the future it might get more new features. Even though, the difference between M1 and M2 are not that huge, the M1 is still so ahead of its time that it's crazy. But as I always say, there's no such thing as too much power in your device. It can be not used 100%, but it's always better to have more power. There is no exception to this rule, obviously. So that makes me think about the iPad Pro and my advice when it comes to potential buyer's guide. If you can't wait, if you have a great deal on the M1 iPad Pro, if you have the educational discount, you can get it and you're gonna have plenty of fun with it. You're gonna have tons of usage with this device basically forever, just like I have. This is my main computer. Despite the limitations of iPadOS, despite the craziness of iPadOS, I still use it, for video editing, photo editing. This whole channel is being run by iPad Pro. I use it for gaming, watching, entertainment, reading, studying. It's crazy how much actually I use this device. So if you go for the M1 iPad Pro, you're definitely gonna have tons of fun, you're gonna have tons of support still. But here's the thing, the M2 iPad Pro is just around the corner, and Apple showed us that they may give exclusive features to just the newer iPads. So in that way, honestly, if I could wait a little bit for the newer model, I definitely would. And yes, I know that 11-inch model is again not supposed to get upgrade display, but it's still gonna be a newer model And you know, the current M1 iPad Pro is like what, 15 months old at this point, 14 months old. So you know, that's kind of a lot in the tech world, and even though this device is so powerful and so ahead of its time, you know, it's always better to have the latest device for as long as possible. So that's why I would recommend the M2 iPad Pro. And if you can't wait, like, it's not like you can go wrong with this device, you know. I agree with all of you guys that said, you know, that it's not worth buying right now. But if you do, assuming you do, you know, it's not like you're gonna get disappointed. You're gonna get everything you can in an iPad, and it's gonna be fantastic experience. So yeah, I guess in this way you cannot go wrong with any of the products. But I will just wait for the M2 model. And once again, thank you very much to everybody, you know, who participates in my community post. Thank you very much for watching, for liking the videos, for commenting. I really love the interactions and, you know, talk to you guys. It's always plenty of fun, you know, to talk about the tech, and maybe have different opinions, maybe have the same. It's always fantastic. Thank you very much. Until next time.